Welcome to Where You Live. I'm your host, Chloe Hoffner, and today we are in Lacombe. Located 24 kilometers north of Red Deer, this vibrant community works hard to keep its history and heritage alive, all while promoting new amenities, events, and businesses. Let's head to Council Chambers to speak with Mayor Steve Christie and learn what he loves about his city. We are now in Council Chambers here in Lacombe, and I am joined by Mayor Steve Christie. 2017 is probably the most exciting year yet, I would say. There's a lot of things on the horizon coming to be. What do you have to look forward to this year?
Oh, there's a lot to look forward to this year, and so far, yes. The first couple weeks of 2017 is very exciting as we just finished our year-end review and talked about what's coming up in 2017. And we have a lot of infrastructure projects, some large projects coming up, such as our downtown redevelopment project, which we have a sewer line that is causing us some issues, and it's not a nice to do, it's a have to do project. So we've been working with downtown business to help make this go smoothly, and looking forward to completion of that mid 2017. Another project that is near and dear to my heart is sending services, water and sewer, to the west area, and which will open up some more commercial area, some more commercial land, and it will connect to the county of Lacombe as well, where we have a revenue sharing area across the QE2.
Now, aside from your beautiful downtown, there are a ton of gorgeous new and old amenities that you're constantly upgrading or constantly building onto. Why don't you talk about a few of those that come to mind that you're really excited about?
Boy, where do I start? You're right, there is a ton. That's something that Lacombe does very, very well, is maintain our built infrastructure. And I can go back to 2007 and a very, very successful project was the LMC. It was an existing community center that we spruced up and added on to and made it a beautiful building that it is today. It's a mini convention center. In 2016, we did the same thing with our arena, with our sports and leisure complex. We took the existing building, added on to it. We refurbished some of the inside, and it's opening in late January. And it's been a successful project. We worked while the building was operational. We did a lot of safety code and fire code upgrades, and as well as adding dressing rooms to enhance the building for, I'm going to say we added probably 40 years of life to that building. So refurbishing existing infrastructure is something that we do well, and we're very, very proud of. We have countless great recreation facilities. We have one of the only AstroTurf football fields between Calgary and Edmonton, with a field house alongside. We have an outstanding skate park. We're looking at some other projects downtown that can enhance the walkability of our community as well.
I always found that Lacombe is a nice balance of agriculture and business, so I'd like to start with the business sector. Coming up in our show, we'll be speaking with 3 different businesses in Lacombe: Sweet Capone's, Good Neighbor Coffee, and Blind Man Brewery. And the one common thread from all of their interviews was that they are so impressed with how much the city's residents and the city itself supports local businesses, small local businesses. What can you speak to that?
That is great to hear, because I want to turn the tables back on them. What makes me so excited about Lacombe right now is we're in the beginning of a cycle. And hopefully I explained this properly, but there's long-term business owners, there's long-time families in a community, and right now we are in a position where the younger members of those longtime families are the prominent members of the family. We have a lot of young people taking over family businesses, and we have a lot of young entrepreneurs, which you just talked about, taking over and starting new businesses in Lacombe, and they're all working together to market each other. They are building the brand of Lacombe. They're doing a lot of the work that we should be doing, and we're just coming alongside. And because they are such, even our staff is so young right now. Our fire department, our volunteer fire department, is a bunch of young go guys, and that momentum, we just want to hook our wagon to it and keep it going. So thank you for mentioning that we support them, but they support Lacombe, I think, even more, tenfold.
And I do find it kind of interesting how the businesses that are coming up in Lacombe are businesses that people from all over are coming to, not just because they need to, but because they truly do want to come and visit and check out something new and unique in a different place.
Well, and I think that's part of the marketing each other and working for each other. They all have friends of friends of friends. And so when somebody is in Blind Man Brewery, they say, hey, have you been to Sweet Capone's? You should go down to Cilantro and Chive, and they work together and they market each other.
Now let's change pace a little bit and talk about agriculture. With Government of Canada Agriculture and Government of Alberta Agriculture right in your backyard, as well as being surrounded by all of those farms, there's got to be a lot going on. What can you tell us?
A lot going on, and we are quite fortunate in these downturn times in the oil field. We are very, very supported through agriculture, and we are very proud to support them as well, as the federal and provincial research stations have been in our area for a very, very long time, and will continue to be. They have some areas around here that have 100 years of research on them, so it is great to have them within our community. There's some great jobs at these facilities, and we also have AFSC. It has head office here in Lacombe, so ag is a big thing in Lacombe, and supports us and pushes us through these hard times.
When I think of Lacombe as a destination, what first comes to mind, I think for a lot of people, is the rich history and heritage. Can you talk to why that's so important?
Well, Lacombe wouldn't be Lacombe without the rich history that's here, and we embrace that. We're known for our eclectic downtown, our mom and pop businesses, our Edwardian buildings, some of the old houses that have turned into businesses as well. Our Flatiron building, that's our staple in downtown. It's one of very few in all of Canada. And to preserve that and to honor that and to include that in who we are is very important to Lacombians, and not only the people that have lived here forever, but the new people moving in. And I think that's kind of why they move here, because we do have such a strong, rich history.
Now, when I think of traveling to Lacombe to go for a visit, I always think of, in the summertime, walking downtown, checking out the museums, going to the restaurants, coffee shops, whatever. But I'm learning, because it is January, and that's when we're filming this show, that there is a ton to do in the winter as well. There
is a ton to do in the winter. We have a cross-country ski club that uses the golf course for their playground, and it's a beautiful, I don't know how many acres it is, but the track is, I'm going to say, 6-7 kilometers long. There's ice skating on Corona Lake, on 3 or 4 different stormwater ponds. We have many trails that are used in the winter as well. I see a lot of snowshoe tracks around the city. So recreation is all year round here in Lacombe, and a lot of the same facilities that we use in the summer, such as the trails, are used in the winter as well.
One of the most exciting announcements to come out of Lacombe in the past year was the announcement that the Bentley Generals would be relocating to the Lacombe Generals. Have you had the chance to catch a game?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's I played a lot of hockey when I was younger, and it is a culture in its own. And to have that product or that level of hockey in Lacombe is huge to us. And last year they played all their playoff games in early 2016 right here in Lacombe, and I think they averaged about 1,200 people per game. And it's such a great league. They're all ex-pros or major junior players from days gone by, but you see names like Ryan Smith and Pete Vandermeer and the Vandermeer brothers all play in the league, and there's some great players in the league, and to have that right here in Lacombe, it's kind of like Friday Night Lights, you know, and that's the activity on Friday nights. So to have them here and in the newly renovated building is a great feather in our cap, and thank you to them for looking to us to come and play and draw people in.
Well, Jim Claggett did have the chance to check out their new dressing rooms and head to one of their games, so we will get to have a bit of a profile right up next about the Lacombe Generals. But before we get to that, I would like to thank you for coming on Where You Live and being a nice ambassador for your amazing city and rural area.
Thank you very much, Chloe, and it's always great to be able to talk about something that you really love.
Wonderful. Let's check in with Jim Claggett and the Lacombe Generals.
The Generals marched into Lacombe this hockey season and were welcomed with open arms. It was a move from Bentley the team needed to make due to financial reasons.
If this does happen, it'll save us. If it doesn't, it'll kill us, because we thought that maybe we couldn't make a go of it anymore.
The Generals were a team without a home at the start of this season, which can be a little unsettling.
We were like gypsies on the road, continually nowhere to store things, and just packing and moving and continuing and not knowing where everything was. And the guys kept asking, when is it going to be? And we kept saying soon.
Lacombe has a rich hockey history with the Rockets, and the Generals bring a solid resume to the city, but they needed a more adult dressing room, and they got it.
The cost is large, and the commitment is large. And so the capital commitment on their behalf was made, and we have to in turn pay them back annually.
I think right from when we opened the door to the room and they came in and they've embraced it, knowing that it'll get a little more homey as we go further with this and we get things put up and some colors in here and so on. But I think right from the minute we opened the door, they felt it.
This is very much a blue-collar hockey league, and the fans are quite loyal. It hasn't taken long for the hockey fans in Lacombe to embrace this team as their own.
When you wear the crest, when I wear the jacket, people will ask and wonder, and they feel that there's something special has happened in this community that hasn't been here for a long, long time, and they want to chat about it.
These are the men who grew up loving the game of hockey. And so those are usually the guys you can get to play senior hockey. They have daughters and sons and sometimes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And so the men themselves are loyal to the game and love it and just want to play it.
Being situated in Lacombe works well for the Generals players who come from all over. Many call Alberta home. So the games are still within driving distance for family members, which is important to the team.
That's something different that they haven't had in Europe or in the southern U.S. or eastern seaboard or wherever they've been. So that's a unique thing for us. So we promote family, parents, kids, wives.
Having a winning program makes it a bit easier to recruit players to come to Central Alberta, and the evidence is overwhelming that it's working.
I think they've heard enough from their peers, men who've played here, that say, yeah, that's worth your time. And maybe you can only swing it for a year or two before the kids are older or whatever it is. I think a lot of it speaks of reputation.
There are no regrets, it seems, on either side of this equation, and having a room in the arena they can call their own is something to cheer about for the fans and the players.
Our Bentley facility was a good facility, great facility, but it was not of brick and mortar like this one is, and so this one will stand a long time, for many, many years to come long after I'm probably long gone, so that's a good thing.
For Where You Live on Shaw TV Red Deer, I'm Jim Claggett.